This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
Fan.
Farm 840 is coming to Minneapolis. Join Willie Nelson, Neil Young, Dave Matthews, and more Saturday, September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Celebrate 40 years of music, food, and family farming. Enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets now on our contest page. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. I'm Common. He is Tenna B. Tomorrow, a program, a password invitational. Round one. Again, it's who and who. I'm sorry. I think it was just in the last promo.
Yeah, it's the 1 versus 8 seed.
Okay.
Lil B and Marnie Gellner versus Kevin Fallness and Muss. That'll be 1:15 tomorrow. So we moved Brian Oak to 12:30 tomorrow.
Correct. So we'll do Rock Talk at 12:30, and then 534 top of the hour. Then we'll have 1:15. We'll start with a program password invitational year. Was it 4?
Fourth one, yeah.
4th year. So it should be fun. We enjoy bringing it to you as we do. 5, 3, 4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
All Vikings, let's win this game. You'll hear us yell for more.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the state of the skull.
Yeah, the Vikings will host the New England Patriots for joint practices during training camp at TCO Performance Center in August. It was announced yesterday. The two teams are scheduled to play a preseason game at noon on Saturday, August 16th at US Bank Stadium. Common, your thoughts on the Vikings and Patriots joint practices in Eagan?
Two teams that don't like each other very much. We know that. I don't know. I mean, that's become the all the rage in the National Football League. As a matter of fact, didn't in college thinking about going that direction? Didn't Deion Sanders say he wanted to do joint practices
for college? Yeah,
I don't know if that's a go in college football. I've never heard. I heard the idea, and I don't know if anything was approved or if colleges and universities can do it on a school by school basis, whatever they want to do. But it sort of has replaced, just the first stringers and the second stringers beating up on each other for, however many weeks training camp is, 3 weeks. It's now, hey, we get to go against some real players, from an opposing team, and they're going to show us stuff we've never seen, vice versa. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It'll be fun. We'll be there, I'm assuming, like we are every year. And it's okay, but I don't know. It's all right. You? Any?
Well, I think the interesting storyline would be Drake May, second-year quarterback for the New England Patriots. Because if you remember before last year's draft, or even on draft night, there were reports that the Vikings had made a big trade offer to New England to move up and hopefully draft Drake May. Obviously, that never came to fruition. They ended up taking J.J. McCarthy at pick 10. But the rumors then were that KFC loved him some Drake May.
Yeah.
By the way, I also saw today that Drake May threw 4 interceptions today in 11-on-11 or was it 11-11 or whatever kind of practice they're doing right now?
7-on-7.
Whatever they're doing right now, he's in OTAs. He's threw 4 interceptions today.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think it's the beginning of the end for Drake May? Do you think this is
I think it's May 20th.
Okay.
And things happen.
May 20th? I thought his name was May. Drake May. When did it become May 20th?
I always loved that
funny.
one.
Not bad.
I tried.
Question number 2.
The Frost. I love this.
It's time now to focus on the Frost.
Focus, laser focused on the Frost.
Yeah, the Frost play the Ottawa Charge in Game 1 of the Walter Cup Finals tonight at 6 p.m. at TD Place in Ottawa. The Charge advanced by defeating Montreal 3-1. Of course, your Frost took down Toronto 3-1 after being 1-0 in that series. Common, your prediction, can the Frost go back-to-back?
If I think it's the Frost, I'll sing Frosty the Snowman. If it's the Ottawa, I'll go da-da-da-da-da-da, Charge.
They don't do those at like professional stadiums anymore, do they?
No.
They never do the Charge.
You ready? It's either going to be one of the two.
Okay.
There must have been some magic in that old top hat they found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance. I think the Frost will win.
I like that one.
They basically, it's almost been a carbon copy of what they did last year. They kind of stumbled their way into postseason play and then made a run to the World Championship. And I think they're going to do the same. Ottawa presents a hell of a chat. I don't know anything about Ottawa.
I don't know much about Ottawa either.
I don't know either. I really don't know anything about either team, though I did see Zumwinkle on the TV news last night. Deuce was watching. Deuce is boning up on the Frost. You know what else I saw on his website? He has computer still on it. Legendary NHL reporters. Because he was doing, we played him on the air, those, he did the intermission interviews like Gorg does for the Wild. He did them for the Lincoln Stars. Deuce still wants to keep dabbling in the media. And think about it. He was looking up, he was doing research on who the greatest of all time were of the people that do hockey analysis.
Here's the problem that Deuce is going to come across, though.
And that is?
Because he said he's already got a job in the banking world.
Yeah.
So when he's getting those banking paychecks, and then he'll go to get that media paycheck on the side, and be like, maybe I should just stick with the banking.
Well, I think, in a perfect world, he'd like to do media, but he realizes that there's no money in, especially early, and he knows it's just tough to break into. It's just really hard to get into that business. And, you can't really use me because I don't think any of the local teams like me very much. It's not like
credibility shot if he use you as a reference.
Right. Well, it's like I'm not going to call the Wild or the Vikings or the Twins especially the Twins. How about I call them? Hey, Joe, Common over at the Fan was hoping my boy could maybe do some internship over there. Maybe get a little get his foot in the door with the Twins.
You know how many times I've tried to get a new job and they're like, "What show do you work on?"
Yeah,
I'm like Common. Like, oh,
yeah. You're breaking up, so he's got that going against him too. So he's already got 2 strikes against him, but he really enjoys it, and so it's just I just like his he just keeps battling and battling, and he's going to be doing ring announcing with me because I got to give that up. It's starting to take a toll on me, tend to be at my age, climbing up and down the 3 steps into the confines of the 4 ring posts for 8 fights at 16 times, getting in and out of the ring. It takes a toll on an old man. It's time to pass the baton, or should I say the microphone, over to the youngster. And so he's going to be we got a couple of fight cards coming up in Hinckley later this year. I think it's September and November. So we'll be doing that again.
Frost, by the way, I'll be at Game 3 Saturday.
Oh, you will?
I'm going to the game on XL Energy Center, and I'm attempting to get a Frost player on the Tenna Fitzgerald on Friday.
Very good.
Question number 3.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
I heard the Chargers mascot, and you can find when you go to the game. Tell me if it's true. It's a charge card. It's a credit card. Is there? Yeah, that wasn't very funny. That was from a listener. I'm going to throw him under the bus. That wasn't that funny. Anyway,
this is one of those where I'm going to ask you the question and then basically just answer it myself because you won't be able to answer it.
You are correct.
Michael Russo and Joe Smith answered questions from fans in their mailbag column at The Athletic.
Ooh.
And Russo, while talking about potential centers the Wild could acquire, said other than pursuing Brock Nelson in free agency, this team should try trading for an impact center like J.J. Paterka or Tage Thompson.
Ooh.
Common, would you like the Wild to go after Paterka or Thompson?
I like Tage Thompson mostly because I'll be able to pronounce his name. What's the other guy's name?
J.J. Paterka.
Paterka? Do you think Rosen will call him Paterka or Paterka today? Which one would he choose?
I don't know, but Joe O'Donnell, if they did acquire, should go, he's J.J.
Oh, yeah. By the way, can I just tell PA and all the others that cover the Vikings, he's not JJ anymore. He's Jets. There's only one JJ.
Yeah, I think he stopped calling him JJ last year.
Yeah, because he's not.
Once we got JJ McCarthy.
Because he's not JJ anymore. He said, I'm Jets. I'm not JJ. I'm Jets. And we have another JJ. So it's not JJ to JJ, which I know sounds good. It's JJ to Jets.
We could maybe do for the Wild KK to JJ.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they should pursue a trade with either of those? And do we have anything we can trade that might interest those clubs?
It's always hard to know which trade targets are going to be available by teams, right? So it's always a hard discussion to have, not knowing how they feel about their current players. But whenever Russo throws a name out there, there's a reason he's throwing that name out there. So I'd like to think that those two might potentially be available. They both play for the Buffalo Sabres, who have been in rebuild mode for about 13, 14 years now. I am all in on Tage Thompson if he's available, and I get you'd have to give up a lot for him, but he's a 6'6" right shot center who is a star right now. He's 27 years old. Like he would be immediately even with a Kaprizov and a Boldy on your team, he'd become your number one goal scorer.
Really?
Yes. In terms of just pure scoring sniper, because he's got the big frame, he can skate. He's also elite on the power play, and we've been waiting for a right shot on the power play for the longest time. We've always just been dealing with a bunch of lefties.
We certainly don't want the wrong shot. I mean, I'd rather take the right shot. Sorry.
And he also has a really good contract. He's still under contract for 5 more years at a little over $7 million, which to me that's darn good value for him. And I know I tweeted about it earlier today, and there were people like, well, he was playing right wing. Well, he's typically been a center. He was dealing with a lingering injury this year, which may have prevented him from, you're a little bit more is required from a center than a wing, at least physically.
Yeah.
So he got switched to right wing. Even if he couldn't play center for you, at 7 and change, and a guy who can score 40 goals a year, I'd still take him. At right wing, that's still a good contract.
Yeah.
Wouldn't necessarily solve our center position if he can be there, but it's still, to me, he's a star. And he's in the prime of his career and has throughout it's a great contract. So I don't know if Buffalo is really willing to send him away, which, like I said, Russo put the name down. Yeah. So there leads me to believe there's something there.
That they're willing to talk if the phone rings.
Yeah. Now, I don't know who on the Wild they like, right? So it's hard to throw out names. But obviously, Rossi's been in the news as somebody to get sent out. It's going to take Rossi plus to get Tage. But I would be all in on trading for Tage Thompson.
I would too. On another topic, I just seem to sense more excitement in your voice when you're talking hockey rather than talking about my golf game. And I don't understand. That seems strange to me. I thought you
haven't been doing Wheel of Topics lately.
Well, today there was no chance to do it.
Yeah.
I was not going to play it. I know what the game's played outdoors, but the heavy stuff ain't coming for a while yet. That's 5-3-4. But we want to try to put some money in your hands, bonus bucks. And it's brought to you by BigDeck.com. Tenneby's got a keyword.
Yeah, the fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword fun at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is fun. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
So you want to start a business? You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but listen to me when I say you don't. You just need GoDaddy Aero. I'm Walton Goggins, an actor, and I like the sound of starting my own business, Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. But I couldn't do this on my own. GoDaddy Aero uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. How cool is that? Well, listen to this. For a limited time, you can get Aero All Access for just $1 a week for 12 weeks. We're talking all the AI power of GoDaddy Aero plus a domain, e-commerce store, payments, professional email, a unified inbox, all for less money than I spend on deep tanning lotion while sunbathing off the Amalfi Coast. You know what that sounds like? A plan. Get started at GoDaddy.com. Terms apply.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity with Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Ooh. But then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Minnesota Frost are back in the PWHL Championship, and they want you there to cheer them on. Get your tickets today for Game 3 this Saturday to be part of the championship action. Get all the details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 past Common Man program. I'm Common. He is Tennessee. A number of different ways to contact us. I'd give you the phone number. We don't answer it. I think it's been disconnected. We forgot to pay our phone bill. Ma Bell. Not real happy with us. We have an email account, I think, still. I remember when Abbott said we were going to text messages and eliminating email. I was so bitter. You can't do that. That's my lifeline to the listeners. And then he was right. I was wrong. I mean, we still have it, I think. I think it's booth at KFAN.com. Then the talkback, which, again, I promised to start using that more regularly. I bet our listeners don't even bother. They don't hear it anymore, at least on this show. I don't know if they use it on any of the shows, to be honest.
If you promote it, they'll use it.
Maybe we should try.
They used it a bunch on the 10 of Fitzgerald when I had John Bonus in, and they were asking Twins questions.
Maybe we should talk back Tuesday. I don't want to start today, though. It's too much work. Maybe we'll start doing a talk back Tuesday. And we'll start really emphasizing it on Tuesdays. Get people, like, I think the last time what we did is we had people weigh in, and then at 1:30, we did the 1:30 to 2 o'clock segment before Rosen comes on, just running a bunch of talkbacks. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, we had a talkback 30 minutes ago.
Oh, we did.
Common, the 6th seed that won against the 1 seed, both in the Western Conference and then in the finals back in 95. That was the defending champion Houston Rockets, and they had their foot off the gas. And so the 6th seed can get it done. We're going to get it done. Wolves in 6. Ow!
Where'd they find those 2 wins for the Thunder? What? That sounds like a little negative there. Really? Thunder winning 2 games? Yeah, okay.
Huh?
There's also the Bradshaw and Bryant Cave. By the way, we're broadcasting live from the climate-controlled 651 Carpets Plus studios, just so you know. Our Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, 64686. This one says, the only reason Guardsy isn't going to rube it up with Jed and Jethro is the Thunder literally won't sell tickets to their home games to anyone outside of the 5-state circle surrounding Oklahoma. Sad, really. While that might be true, he would be getting a media pass.
Yeah, he'd get a credential.
He just gets the media credential, you know. Well, he's really covering the game, too. That's like Rosie get media credentials. He's retired, yet they give him one.
Huh?
And you know why? Because he's got legendary status. Right? Legendary status. That's why whatever Mark wants, Mark gets. I did see where Oklahoma City, they were preventing anybody from, they don't want to turn it into bullseye. Oklahoma is southeast of us. Would that be right?
I would say south or southwest. Southwest, I think.
Hold on. I'm trying to look at, envision the map. Yes, it would be. Take a look at a map. Is it just dead south? I mean, you know.
It's slightly west.
Slightly west.
So south, you know, you got the figure that looks like a human person where Minnesota's the head.
Yeah.
And Iowa's like the nose, the face.
Right, correct.
And then you got Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana. Oklahoma is just west of Arkansas and Missouri.
It looks like it's got a panhandle on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird.
Oh. In other words, hence the name the Oklahoma Panhandle, in case you didn't know. There's your geography lesson today, brought to you by. So yeah, he'll go that route with the but you know they don't want to turn it into bullseye south, slightly west, right? They just don't, and I get that. I mean, that's why it happens here all the time. Do not sell your Vikings tickets to Packer fans. You know what my response would be to that, to the Viking organization? We love them. You know, we got a great vibe with them, extended family member, the whole thing. Well, guess what? I can make a lot of money. I can make a lot of money selling. I'd like to make the money. I could use the money. I've paid a lot for my season tickets. And if my season ticket costs X amount of dollars and I can sell a pair that will basically pay for my season tickets this year, I'll tell you what, I won't sell them to a Green Bay Packer fan if you give me the money I would have made selling those tickets, right? I mean, loyalty only goes so far. Do you agree with that? I mean, if I'm in a pinch and I want to sell those tickets for a huge profit, who am I to tell them you can't sell it to a Packer fan? I know it's all for one and one for all, and it's really important that we win the game with the home crowd advantage, but man, money talks, right? You agree or disagree?
I see both sides of this. Because I kind of like that the way OKC does it keeps everything affordable for their own fans, and that their own fans don't have to go on the second market and get upcharged big time to go to their own games. You know, so the prices are $150 for tickets, which you're not going to get that anywhere else in the NBA playoffs. So I kind of like it that they're keeping it affordable. I get it for the people that want to be able to resell it. That's a pain. But for the people that want to go to the game and not have to pay a ton to do it, and guess what? Oklahoma City has one of the best atmospheres in all of the NBA. They're filling the place up, and they're all excited to be there. It allows for more than just the Mark Rosens of the world to attend their games.
Right.
A larger.
I mean, it's available to everyone. It's available to everyone.
It's more available to everyone.
Yeah.
It's a larger demographic of people that can go because they don't have to pay as much. So I kind of respect them for it.
They got a blue shirt, white shirt, blue shirt, white shirt.
Blue shirt,
blue and white.
LeBron.
People love that bit.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's genius.
And they love the K-High radio. They're both so good. I mean, kudos really need to go out to Dave Allen, legendary imaging guy that worked here at iHeart. You've been in the business for decades. You know, been all over town to town, up and down the dial, the whole thing. He's got his own company now that he does voiceover work for. And those are all his ideas. We just say, hey, why don't we come up with we want to do a fake radio thing. Like we're gonna listen, and we're gonna do a live listen into one of our opponents' radio stations. Can you come up with something? I said, sure. And he came up with the Jethro, the whole thing.
It's all him.
It's all him. It's just simply brilliant. I like the way and the work that he had to put into that, because the Jethro part is just the guy that keeps doing the sidekick guy. And he had to record that ahead of time and just run it as a continuous loop over him doing the other guy, Jed, and the yeehaw, the whole thing. I mean, just so good.
I mean, the gunshots, so good.
Well, it's sure. And then I love the one where he's got the 12 hose.
I'd actually really like to turn into real OKC sports radio now and see how different it is. Probably not much different.
Can we do that, or would we get in trouble? Because I can't remember.
If there's an iHeart station.
Yeah, I think we can. The thing is, because they're part of our family, we can do it. But if we made fun of them, then they'd be mad. And I don't think we'd make fun of them, because I don't think they're going to do it, Jed. But I just want to see how excited they are about OKC. You think you can look into that during this break and just see if we can pull something up live?
I can check it out.
Just check it out and see if you can pull it off. I'd like to see how excited they are. If they just think if they're just basically overlooking us and dismissing us. Like, that happens a lot, with sports talk radio. It's like, I'm going to play the bit with Rose in the day, but I just think I just did. I said, what do you mean you could find 2 OKC wins? We do it in jest, but a lot of these talk shows, these guys are what's the guy from Seattle? Scrubby? Scotchy? No. Softy.
Softy.
They're into it. And they live, eat, breathe, drink, and sleep the whole thing. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. You're the Common Man program on the Fan.
So you want to start a business? You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but listen to me when I say you don't. You just need GoDaddy Aero. I'm Walton Goggins, an actor, and I like the sound of starting my own business, Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. But I couldn't do this on my own. GoDaddy Aero uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. How cool is that? Well, listen to this. For a limited time, you can get Aero All Access for just $1 a week for 12 weeks. We're talking all the AI power of GoDaddy Aero plus a domain, e-commerce store, payments, professional email, a unified inbox, all for less money than I spend on deep tanning lotion while sunbathing off the Amalfi Coast. You know what that sounds like? A plan. Get started at GoDaddy.com. Terms apply.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit, so you can push your gameplay beyond performance with Intel Core Ultra processors. For the next era of gaming, upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E and maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search. Power up at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Your child has so much potential, but your local schools may not be right for them. Check out K-12. K-12-powered schools are accredited tuition-free online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. This is not your typical homeschooling. With state-certified teachers specially trained to teach online, your child will learn at their speed, at home, with innovative, engaging technology. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Oh, but then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Fan
Check out our contest page and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Minnesota Aurora's home opener against Rochester FC on May 22nd. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Double 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. He's 10 and B. The legendary Mark Rosen will join us just prior to 2 o'clock. We'll talk extensively with Mark about the upcoming Western Conference Finals matchup between the Thunder and the Wolves. Game 1 tonight on this radio station. The opening tap is set for 7:30. We talked earlier about a couple of things about how 1 versus 6 seeds have fared over the years and 3 versus 4. Also talked about, getting out to big leads to see if that happens. And we noticed that in the playoffs this year when the Wolves lead by, after 3 quarters, they're undefeated. And the same thing for the Knickerbockers and the same thing for Indiana. Meanwhile, the Pacers or the Thunder are 5-2. Also, there were some player milestones I came across, Tennessee. For SGA, he's 197 points away from 3,000 for the season. He'd be only the 5th player in the last 20 years to get there. Doncic, or Doncic, we'll ask Rosen which pronunciation he prefers today, had 3,005 last season. James Harden had 3,166 in 2018-2019 for Houston. Durantula had 3,156 in 2013-2014 for Okie City. The late Kobe Bryant had 3,027 in 2005-2006 for the LA Lakers. Anthony Edwards, our guy Ant, as you like to call him, he has a milestone. He needs 45 3-pointers for 400 on the season, something only Steph Curry twice and James Harden once have done. That's
lofty company.
That's really, yeah, when you think it's only been done 3 other times, one and twice by Chris, you'd only be the 3rd player to do it. 45, depending upon how long the series goes. If we get to, I think it might be a little harder if we got ousted in the Western Conference Finals. You know what? There's no chance of that happening. But if it goes to the NBA Finals, I think he's going to do it, right? It's like, what would he have to? Let's say it's let's say both series went 7 games. That'd be 14 games, 45 3-pointers in 14 games. Easy, right?
Yeah,
you would think.
Very doable.
That would be very doable. If the Thunder win the NBA title, they would finish the season with 84 wins, and that would put them among league royalty. Only the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors, 88-18, including the playoffs. The 95-96 Chicago Bulls, 87-13, and the 96-97 Bulls, 84-17, have ever reached the 84-win mark for a season. Again, those are... That's lofty company, Tennessee. That's rarefied air, as we like to say. Divisions didn't matter this year. At least one team and maybe 2 that didn't win a division title will make the NBA Finals this season, and that's not common. Going back to 2012, every team that made the NBA Finals, with the lone exception of Golden State in 2022, did so after winning a division championship that season. The only division champ left is Okie City. New York was 2nd in the Atlantic, Indiana 2nd in the Central, Minnesota 3rd in the Northwest Division. This will perk up Tennessee's ears. Tennessee likes him some sports book betting. Indiana and Minnesota have covered in 70% of their games so far in the playoffs, according to BetMGM Sportsbook. That's on pace to be the highest rate of covering since Miami covered 76% of the time during the bubble playoffs in 2020. Oklahoma City covered 68% of the time during the regular season. That's the highest figure in at least a decade. But the Thunder have covered in only 4 of their 11 playoff games, just 36% entering the conference finals. So if
I think a lot of that was just the betting public, or even just the casinos themselves, sportsbooks themselves, overvaluing the LA Lakers.
Yeah, I think
the Wolves are considered an underdog in that series.
Yep,
and they were. I thought it was known before the series they were the better team, but the public did not believe that.
Well, I think part of that is the mystique of LeBron and look, when Doncic got traded, everybody thought, and it might end up being the most lopsided trade in the history of the NBA. And again, going back to the lottery where Dallas, which had like a 1.5% chance of getting the number 1 pick, just conveniently after, it was one of the biggest sports stories of the year. And of course, we're only a few months into the year, but that Dallas would trade maybe the best offensive player in the league for street clothes, an aging big man in the middle, and the GM for Dallas got pilloried, if that's right. Is that a word, pilloried? Not Hillary. Pillory. Could you look that up? Pillorory, pillory, or pilloried, Pilloried. I think that I could be wrong, but for some reason I think that means like criticized.
Pillory.
I swear we've done this one before.
We have?
A wooden framework erected on a post with holes for securing the head and hands, formerly used to expose an offender to public derision.
Public derision. So it does. That's the fit. So I'm sort of kind of right. Because he was open for public derision. How would you trade that for that? And he basically said, I think defense wins championships and he likes to eat a lot. He doesn't exercise. And Doncic just kind of, and then everybody right away piled on that immediately. Everybody started saying he's fat, out of shape. I'm like, just because it was said, I don't know if it's true, but that pairing certainly didn't lead him to an NBA Finals. Didn't even get him to didn't get him out of the first round of the playoffs. So then they get the chance to draft the Cooper Flagg guy, who they want. That's why I think people do. I have to admit, I've always wondered about if the fix is in, if it's rigged, but it's hard not to believe that one, because that franchise is, the fans revolted, right? They're just bitter, and all of a sudden, well, maybe this might help a little bit. Oh, you get the number 1 pick overall, and you could get your next grade. Because the Flagg guy, I don't know if that college game is going to translate to the pros, but kid can flat out play, and that's probably who they would take, and that'd feel a little bit better. We lost Doncic, but we got this kid, so I don't know, but that trade certainly, you're right. I think everybody got intoxicated by the matchup of the legend LeBron and the Doncic character, but that certainly hasn't paid off.
Did you see the interesting stat I sent you via text this morning? That this Wolves OKC series is the first Western Conference final since 1996 that doesn't include a team from Texas or California.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
I looked at it and I thought, say that, what was that stat again?
This is the first time since 1996 that the Western Conference Finals hasn't had a team from Texas or California in it. Yeah. So there won't be a game in Texas or California.
Well, how many Western Conference teams are in Texas and California? Like all of them?
Well, so obviously, we had Dallas last year. And then you've had a run of Golden State Warriors for a long time. You've had LA Lakers throughout, the Clippers, I guess Sacramento Kings. I don't know if they've ever been in any of those over West. And then in Texas, you have San Antonio, who had a bunch of good teams during that stretch, and then the Houston Rockets, and then Dallas Mavericks.
That's what I mean, just because you've got so many
it's close
teams
to half
from those states.
Yeah.
You've got 3 from Texas. Is that what it is? Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and 5 from California, or 4?
Is there 5? 4?
4 or 5. So while it does seem strange, I can kind of see why. But yeah, it is. I guess it's what do you
it's
call
still
it?
First time in 29 years.
29 years.
No, excuse me,
But you know what?
29 years.
But it won't be the last. Because I think I think our window's wide open here. Our window's as wide as those doors at U.S. Bank Stadium that they can open up.
Yep.
I think they're as wide as that and as tall as that. I think we've got. There
won't be any birds flying into those Wolves doors, will there?
Here's the other thing I'm wondering. Regardless if we lose in the Western Conference Finals, win in the Western Conference Finals, and lose in the NBA Finals, or win-win, what head-scratching trade will Connolly make that we go, what is he doing? And then it'll turn up to work, remember? Because when they traded for Gobert, I think a lot of people were scratching their head going, what are you doing? And it worked out. Then people were saying, yeah, I know you needed to save some money on the salary cap, but including myself, I wasn't really sure about trading Big Meow, who now is Bodega Cat, for Julius
the artist formerly known as Big Meow.
Right. Julius Randle and DiVincenzo. And the early returns on Randle and DiVincenzo, it looked like an awful trade for the Wolves, particularly how well Big Meow was fitting in with the Knickerbockers. So on two different occasions, the GM or president of basketball operations, whatever title he is, makes a couple of trades that at least raise some eyebrows, and they both worked out. What trade will he make this offseason, Tenneby? What do you think he's going to do? Trade Ant for, I don't think that's going to be, you know what I'm saying? There'll probably be some move he'll make.
The rumored name.
Durantula, right?
Now, the way Julius Randle's been playing over the last couple of months, because I think it was thought of when you were hearing the Durantula rumors of, well, Julius Randle would be the guy on the way out because he didn't seem to be fitting and meshing well with this team, and obviously had the injury stuff. The way he's played, at least in the playoffs and down the stretch, I don't think you can get rid of Julius Randle. So I don't know how you go about acquiring Durantula without giving up some of your core now. But if there was a possible way to do it, he'd be in the mix. Him and Ant they're tight. So Kevin Durant, of course, used to play for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now playing for the Phoenix Suns. They kind of went all in with the Ishbia owners spending a bunch of money, trading a bunch of assets, and it hasn't really worked out in Phoenix.
I'm following the NBA. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I took a late lunch today. Whatever trade he makes, I don't think I'm going to doubt it this time. Even if he were to trade Ant for Draymond Green, I'd go, he must have a reason for it, so let's do it. But, it has been it's been a pretty remarkable run, even though we're not that deep into it. It just hasn't happened here, as we know. We'd had one Western Conference Finals appearance back in 03, 04. Now we have back-to-back seasons. It's almost too much for me to take. It's like, slow down here.
By the way,
kind of being overwhelmed by all this.
Have you seen how set up the Thunder are for having an elite franchise in the next decade?
Well, they've got lots of draft picks, right?
Yes. They're already now in the Western Conference Finals with the best record in basketball. This upcoming season, they have 2 first-round picks. 2026, they have 3 first-round picks. 2027, they have 2 first-round picks. 2029, they have 2 first-round picks. And they also have, I didn't even mention all the second-round picks. They have so many assets that either A, they can draft, or B, send those to upgrade. They are in great shape.
Yeah, really good shape, because especially those first-round picks. Now, their first-round picks, at least won't be very high, but...
Well, they're not all theirs, though.
Oh, that's right. They're
now,
not
some
theirs,
of those are protected and get pushed back.
Right.
But, this upcoming season, they're going to have picks 15 and 24. 15 was Miami's. 24 was the Clippers. Next year, they have their own pick. They have Philadelphia's pick. They have Utah's pick. Now, there are some protections on those. 27, they have Clippers and Denver's picks. 28, they got a pick swap of Dallas. 29, they have Denver's pick. They're going to be loaded.
Well, now, wait now. Going back to NBA Central at Dunk Central, first Western Conference Finals that will be played outside of Texas or California since 1986.
96.
96.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Denver play in a Western Conference final recently?
I know, but it's just one of the teams has to be from Dallas or Texas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. The last year the Wolves were in it.
Yeah,
they were
right.
just playing against Dallas.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I said Texas or California. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah. Thanks for straightening that out for me. I'm not very bright. Here's a text message that says, regardless of what the Wolves do in this series, I'm 51 years old, and he still will be 51 years old when this series is over, unless he's got an upcoming birthday. And this is the first time in my memory the Minnesota men's sports team has gotten into the conference finals or championship 2 years in a row, and I think that's true.
It's since the North Stars in 81,
yes,
I believe.
Yeah, so it is true. We don't do much dynasty talk around here. We just never have had that opportunity to do so. Vikings have had some nice back-to-back seasons, made playoffs 2 or 3, 4, 5 years in a row, and, have gotten to NFC championship games and then maybe made the playoffs the following year. But yes, to get to a championship game or a conference, it just doesn't happen.
No.
And it is nice to see. I will agree because, look, I doubted the club. I thought the way they had this almost callous disregard for some regular season games and a sort of almost an indifference to when the other team just tried harder. I don't like that vibe or that feel that they were emitting, and then we saw they had 2, 3, 4 losses to teams that were just the dregs of the league, and at a time when we kind of needed the win, we were we were really never in any danger of falling out of playoff contention completely. There was the danger of us getting to the 7-10 playoff stretch. But they were losing some games, and I'm like, I just don't like that. I don't know where the collective mind is with this club, and that's why I had some doubts about them. And I guess I'm just naive to think that pro athletes or teams, particularly in the NBA, I know people think I always just pick on the NBA, and I guess I do pick on them quite a bit. I think they do have that attitude sometimes, that cavalier attitude, not the Cleveland Cavaliers, but that attitude that, well, we can turn it on and off without a switch. It's just one game. It's not a big deal. You just got to get to postseason play. And I guess you could make that argument because, like you said, even though the Wolves were only a game out of the 3rd seed, they are technically a 6th seed, and there's a 3rd and a 4th seed. So it's like you don't have to be a number 1 seed. Washington in football last year, what were they, the 6th seed? They got to the NFC Championship game, right? So, you don't. Sometimes regular season games are meaningless. They just are. You got to win your fair share and then some in order to qualify for postseason play. But if you don't have it that night, that's just the way she goes. And I've always found that you're a tryhard, you're a sweaty. If you and I were going to take a deck of playing cards and sit across from each other in chairs, and we were going to try to see how many of the playing cards out of 52 we could toss into a brown paper bag, a garbage bag, right? You'd try as hard as you can. You're a sweater.
Sure.
And I would try too. And sometimes I think pro athletes go, that's not that big of a deal. And so, but I tell you, they're now at a point where I don't think anybody on any team is taking that approach to these games. And they dismantled the Lakers. Would they dismantled Golden State? Would they have had as easy a time with Golden State had Steph not been hurt? We'll never know. I think even diehard Wolves fans, rabid Wolves fans that have been drinking the Kool-Aid, and they think that's the greatest team of all time, and they do the woo all the time. I think they'd even have to admit that it certainly the series would have had a different complexion.
Yeah.
If Steph was in the game. That's not to say that the Wolves wouldn't have won, but I think it would have been
much more challenging.
It would have been much more challenging, but that's
they didn't get much pushback.
No, and that's just the way it goes. Guy got hurt. I mean, Ant, heaven forbid, knock on wood. That's the sound of my head. He could get hurt tonight and he's out for the season, right? It can happen. And you saw what happened to Tatum. Had Boston advanced, let's say Boston would have been in control of that series 3-1 and snuck one out without Tatum and won 4-2 or something. Well, they'd be playing in the Eastern Conference Finals without Tatum, and their chances wouldn't be very good, and you can't take it away from the Pacers. You could asterisk it a bit if you want, because I think that's fair, but injuries are injuries. They're part and parcel with the game of sports. Sports is your whole life, just sports. Let's take a break. We've been anxiously awaiting the triumphant return of the legendary Mark Rosen. He'll join us next in Studio A here at 1600 Utica Avenue South, St. Louis Park, right here on the Fan.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit, so you can push your gameplay beyond performance with Intel Core Ultra processors. For the next era of gaming, upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E and maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search. Power up at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and Talkspace, the leading virtual therapy provider, is telling everyone, let's face it in therapy. By talking or texting with a supportive, licensed therapist at Talkspace, you can face whatever is holding you back, whether it's mental health symptoms, relationship drama, past trauma, bad habits, or another challenge that you need support to work through. It's easy to sign up. Just go to Talkspace.com and you'll be paired with a provider, typically within 48 hours. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule. Plus, Talkspace is in-network with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. Make your mental health a priority and start today. If you're not covered by insurance, get $80 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80. That's SPACE80. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com and enter promo code SPACE80.